Bacon seems to be linked to a higher risk of pancreatic cancer, according to a report, but it really doesn't seem like it actually is what it seems to be, if that makes any sense to you. The study claims that eating 2 strips of bacon a day or 1 sausage a day increases your risk of contracting pancreatic cancer by about 20%. If you eat double the base amount, which is about 100 grams for double the amount, you're increasing your risk to an additional 38%, and 57% for those eating 3 times the base amount. But there are a lot of kind of cautionary, there's some caveats here, including the fact that the risk of pancreatic cancer overall is quite low. In the United Kingdom, for example, the lifetime risk of developing pancreatic cancer is about 1 in 77 for men and 1 in 79 for women. But of course, we know that it's a very deadly disease. If you're diagnosed, it's frequently already at an advanced stage. It kills 80% of people diagnosed in under a year. Now, here's the thing. This was a kind of a study of studies which looked at 11 different studies, including over 6,500 cases of pancreatic cancer. And there is actually inconclusive evidence on the risks of eating red meat overall compared to eating no red meat, right? They found a 29% increase in pancreatic cancer risk for men eating red meat, but no increase among women. This might be because the men in the study tended to eat more red meat overall. And they concluded that the meta-analysis, it shows that processed meat is positively associated with pancreatic cancer risk, but red meat consumption is not necessarily correlated and caused by increased, or correlated with increased cancer risk. So it's one of these things where we have to, I think, go back to the same thing, which is a well-rounded, balanced diet really just the best thing overall?
I don't think there's any secrets. I mean, yeah, I assume that's the case.
Did you just hear that? I think we did. What did you guys in the back hear that noise?
Yeah, there seems to be some sort of
there's some type
furniture
of mishap
move going on.
It sounds like there's either bowling or I hope we're not having an earthquake here at the studio. I thought the building was closed today, to be honest.
It's the janitor.
Is that what's going on?
Yeah, I just saw him go by.
Oh. Sounded like a potential earthquake.
He's carrying on MLK's legacy.
Sounded like a musket.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so, I mean, this is one of the... I don't actually really eat pork very much, but then I will sometimes have bacon on sandwiches. I don't really know how I feel about these studies when we see something like this, because it seems individually we can find one ingredient that seems to be positively correlated with something, and then we get into the same old discussion. Well, are we looking at causation, and what else about people who eat a lot of that may actually be what's causing the increased risk for pancreatic cancer, for example? Maybe it's most people who eat 3 times the base amount of bacon per day or per week or whatever also have certain other activities which actually are what would be bringing on the cancer.
Well, I mean, there is a trend in most of these studies, and it leans towards the more processed crap you eat and the more red meat you eat, the more likely you are to have this type of problem.
Well, it's not clear that it's more red meat, period.
Yeah, I just want to throw this out there. Is it news that bacon isn't good for you? Like, I don't understand how this is like news at all. I mean, they've been saying it. I mean, I've seen it in TV shows from like the 70s, people saying bacon's bad. I mean, why is this news?
Well, I mean, I guess the artery clogging factor
was known.
Was known, but it wasn't really linked to pancreatic cancer, so there's something else you have to be worried about.
But I mean, how many bad things does a food have to do to you to get you to stop eating it as much?
A lot.
It has to kill you, Natan. It has to kill you.
Clearly, it has to do a lot of bad things before you'll pay attention.